Go.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Ori from Curated by Ori. And today I'm going to talk about this cool little outdoor portable shower solution by Geyser. And we picked this up a couple days ago at REI. And the cool thing about it is actually, first of all, like its size. Generally, like outdoor camping showers, if you're familiar with them, they're like these just big bags of water kind of that are usually black, and they heat up via solar, and then you kind of are lugging this like huge like 5-gallon thing. You need to hang it up really high. It's really heavy. And like a big pain in the ass to deal with, and then it usually tears as well. We've had some bad experiences with those. So this solution is the folks at Geyser, which is a Colorado company. They took a different direction in trying to solve the outdoor shower problem. So basically, what this is a 0.8 gallon water canister, and then what they do is, so it's a very small amount of water relatively, on the one hand. But then instead of using like a hose or something to spray out of, what they do is they put a sponge, and then what that enables is that the water comes out of the canister through the sponge, and then you can use the sponge kind of to shower yourself and waste a lot less water. And then they have two models. One is a model which just has a pump in it, and then the other model is a model which has an electric water heater. And the electric water heater obviously uses a lot more battery power. So they recommend either to use it to heat the water while your engine is running, so you can do it while you're driving somewhere, or you can use a portable battery like a EcoFlow or Jacker. You can use that. I wouldn't recommend just idling your car for half an hour, because it takes a long time for the water heater to heat up the water. It takes around like half an hour. So I highly would recommend not idling your car, because that's just bad for the environment, and that's not what we're about. But yeah, so we'll talk about the water heating element in a bit. But basically the whole system is relatively simple. It comes with this long 12-volt cable. Nah, I'm in the middle talking about a shower. It comes with this long 12-volt cable, and then it has the shower side. The long 12-volt cable is cool because it means you can shower like relatively farther away from your car, so you don't need to be wetting the outside the door. And then let's just show how. So the water section, like the water hose replacement, the sponge just clicks in, and that's really easy. Here there's like a little dial which adjusts how much water you want flowing out, and it can be from like a high flow, which will waste all of the water within 1 minute, or a relatively low flow, which will give you like a 10 to 15 minute shower. And then I'm just going to go ahead and plug this into our 12-volt. And then why don't you come over here? I'll just show you the control panel. It's relatively simple. So first of all, you fill up the water in here. And this is mostly full. It's better to fill it up obviously all the way. I'm not gonna have a shower now, so that doesn't matter. I just wanted to fill it up a bit. And then there's just this little switch, which you can put it on heating. And that looks like it's having a little bit of a problem. I'm going to talk about the problems in this thing in a minute. So you can put it on heating, or you can put it on heating. You need to close the lid, then you can put it on heating, and then it'll say heating water. And that's going to be drawing about 120 watts of power. And then you can put it on pump. And when you put it on pump, basically the pump starts pumping water outside through the hose. Come here over here and show that. So I'm going to put it on pump, and then basically the pump just starts working. The sponge starts getting filled with water, and you can use this little dial to adjust if you want more or less water. And then basically the water just comes out here. And this is on a very high setting. This will waste the water in like a minute. You can also do it on a much lower setting, and you'll get much less water. And you can also put soap on this, and that way you kind of get a 2-in-1, like soap and shower, and then kind of when the soap comes out, the water will finish. Cleaning you off. For us, we were planning to use it like to clean the girls and stuff, because we want to clean them very often on the one hand, and on the other hand, we don't want to do full showers because we only have around 20 to 30 gallons of water in our system. So that's that. It works pretty good. We did run into a couple problems, and I actually was in contact with the Geyser support, with the Geyser team, and I kind of really discovered that. So the problems weren't really going to fulfill our use case. So one problem is that after you've used the electric water heater to heat up the water, the thermostat kind of sticks on hot. And then even if you empty the whole canister out and then refill it with cold water, you can't reheat reheat the water using the electric water heater, because the thermostat stays at above 95 degrees and it'll only heat the water to 95 degrees because it has like a little control system. So that's like a big bummer. And for me, like part of the reason that I bought this model, which has the electric water heater, is that I would be able to use electricity to heat water. And then in our van, this is obviously like we have a big battery and like plenty of solar. So I really, instead of using propane to heat the tank, to heat the water, I wanted to use solar, and then I would be using less propane, and it would be like another resource that I don't have to worry about depleting. So basically what the folks at Geyser said is that they don't recommend using the shower for showering multiple people. So that's a bit of a bummer. So I mean, in all honesty, like I would recommend maybe just buying the regular model, which doesn't have the heat pump, because that feels like, to me, is like a big problem with the design as they sell it currently. Another problem that I came across with this shower is that, so what happens is the water canister is sealed when you're showering, but on the other hand, the pump is pumping out water. So what happens is as the pump pumps out about half of the water, then there becomes a partial vacuum inside the canister, and then it kind of just stops pumping out water. Like the pressure gets too high, the negative pressure inside the canister, and then basically what you need to do is unscrew the lid a little bit, and then the pump will start pumping out water again. And that's like really like a bad thing. Like, I mean, honestly, like it's cool to shower with the canister open because then you can see how much water you're using, but like the point, like if you're supposed to do that, then why even put a lid on it? And anyways, if you put a lid on it, like it would be a lot more useful to put like a clear lid. But either way, it seems like you need to put like some type of like breathing valve on the top of this so that at least you can have a shower with the lid closed, because if it's designed to shower with the lid closed, then like it should work, but it doesn't. So like beyond half of the water, basically the pump just starts going into turbo mode. Very little water comes out of the sponge, and then I just discovered, just because like physics, I was like, maybe let's check if the water's empty. I saw it wasn't empty, but I heard like a big like sound when I opened the lid, and I was like, oh, it's because the pressure in the canister was getting too high. So those are really basically my two main gripes with this shower product. Other than that, it's super convenient that it's very small. It's not super heavy. It doesn't use a ton of water, and it does enable you to have a pretty nice shower. So that's cool. Personally, like if I was going to be recommending it to people, so I think it's less relevant for like people who live like in a van, which has a lot of relatively a good water capacity. It could be a good solution for someone who's like more like an overlander, who kind of like lives in it, or like a weekend warrior who kind of like has a Jeep or a pickup truck that they like to go overlanding in, and then maybe they do like some outdoor activities. So I don't know if they're like biking or like, I don't know, hiking or something that they get really sweaty and dirty in, and then at the end of the day, they don't have a huge like built-in water supply, but they would like to shower. So this could be a good solution for someone who's carrying just like a 5-gallon water jug as their water, and then if you use less than 1 gallon of that to shower at the end of the day, like that's totally fine. You're fine for another day or two. So I think for like van lifers or RVers as a solution, I think it's not that ideal. And for us, obviously it's not going to work out because we want to do like 3-4 showers in a row, because we want to shower the girls, and then we want to shower me and my partner. So like the whole water heater element thing is a big like no for us. So that's not going to work out for us, unfortunately. But yeah, if you're like an overlander, overall, like I think the product is pretty cool. It's a cool idea, even if like the way it came out in the end of the day is not perfect. But Geyser seems like a cool company. I'm going to send them this review. Maybe they'll put out a new version or something which fixes those like small gripes. But yeah, overall, like this thing costs, I think, $250 for the simple model without the water heater, $325 for the model with the water heater. So there are other big showers which cost anywhere between like $20 and $40, $50. But the problem with those is that they just use a ton of water. Yeah, so I liked using this. I liked trying it. I'm happy to put a review on it on the internet, and just so people know kind of what they're getting into. And yeah, this is it. And I was Ori from Curated by Ori.